Hey people, it's Kelly of printprayslay, and today is Juneteenth. So I am here with a new kit for Juneteenth. Last year was my first Juneteenth kit, so this is the second one. These are all the dolls, all the florals, word art, the journaling blocks, the planner boxes, all of that. And so I am actually on a Zoom with my patrons right now. And so that's what I'm recording. That's why you can see, like, a piece of my camera. My laptop and all of that. So we're on Zoom. And so I'm recording for them with the little device in front. And my tabletop down is for you guys. So I wanted to give you like a piece of what we're doing. Of course, you're not going to be able to hear, our private conversations. It's a lot like a small group from church. So I decided to do voiceovers for the footage that is going on with Patreon. So please excuse if anything is out of frame. I'm trying to show it to you and them, and that's two different cameras. So again, Juneteenth. So that's June 19th, 1865. That is actually today is Juneteenth in celebration. But the actual date is from 1865, and it is known as Freedom Day. So it's an American holiday, and it's celebrated again on June 19th. You'll see it right there in a sticker. And it commemorates the emancipation of the last remaining enslaved African Americans. Okay, so this happened in 1865. Okay, but it happened after the 4th of July, which is in 1776. So, though we celebrate the 4th of July, that's not really the date in which all Americans were free. So everyone should still celebrate the 4th of July, but people really should celebrate Juneteenth as well, since it includes everyone. Okay, that is the date for everyone. The key verses for this kit are Galatians 5:1 and 1 Peter 2:16. So first I'll talk about 1 Peter 2:16. It reads, "For you are free, yet you are God's slaves. You do not use your freedom as an excuse to do evil." That's 16. And then I can go forth and go on to 17. And 17 then reads, "Go on today." Sorry, not I. Goes on to say, "Respect everyone and love your Christian brothers and sisters. Fear God and respect the king." The king as in the person that is in charge of the land. So this was Peter telling folks to respect authority, those who rule over the land. So you are not supposed to compromise yourself because, you above all should be obeying God over man at all times. That's spoke about in Acts 5:29. So we should respect the laws of the land, but basically Christians should stand for their freedom, but do it without breaking rules. Okay, it is perfectly fine for you to stand up for what you believe and speak about the freedom of others and yourself, but you're supposed to do so within the authority that is in the land that you are, once set in. So we have freedom in Christ. So that is that peace that I'm always talking about. I always tell you all that I'm praying for peace. That is like the number one prayer on the list of Kelly. But we have freedom. Okay, so Christ gave us freedom, and Christians use freedom as a tool. Okay, it's a tool that God gave to us. So we don't need to break laws. We don't need to feel guilty or anything else that steals our peace. We are accountable to God, but we are not slaves. Okay, we are not slaves to this land. Okay, we are one of God. Okay, so we are his. So a great question that came from yesterday's Zoom with the patrons was, what could we be slaves to in our own minds and hearts? So I just said we are not slaves, so we should not be. But there are definitely things that keep us down and always try to keep us away from God and what God has for us. That right there is worth praying freedom from. Okay, so you need to pray to God about those things that are keeping you from your destination and what God has for you. And that kind of goes into the other scripture that's in the kit, and that's Galatians 5:1. And it's about how Christ died to set us free from our sins. So he came to set us free. So Not free as in we can do whatever we want, but free as in we live unselfishly. Like that, there's that peace again. We live in peace, free to be who God called us to be. So we're no longer enslaved emotionally, mentally, physically, or anything like that. And that, goes into how we were in this country as African Americans before. Well, some of us, because everybody's not African American. I understand that. That was a physical enslavement, but there's still emotional and mental enslavement, and actually there's still physical enslavement going on. A lot of people are very convinced that this happens in a lot of other countries, but some would dare to say that it still happens in America in different ways. So you have to be, careful, and you have to lean on God in a lot of situations where that peace is what you're seeking. So a lot of people, I've seen a lot of stickers. A lot of people are saying like free-ish, as in, you got the hyphen and the ISH on there. Basically sort of free. And it's talking about the inequality of Black people in America and what we still face. And that's real. A lot of people are not given the same opportunities, the same resources and things like that. But we have to consider that we know that God has the power to change people's hearts and change people's situations. I have huge testimonies, and so do other people around me, of how God has worked in their lives and has changed their situation. So that definitely can happen. But in that time, if you have something that you can do to change your situation, by all means do that. We are not saying like, sit there and just, don't speak up for yourself and don't do anything. We have the freedom to do that in America and as Christians. So by all means, you definitely should use your voice and your intellect and your resources to help yourself and help others. We need to be active in our communities and stand up for what's right. If I can go into what I'm doing right now, I'm actually using dry gelatos. I have really been feeling using dry gelatos lately. They're really, really fun. If you saw earlier, I got some on my finger. It's red. It is going to come back to bite me in the behind when I get on my next spread. Because it just got all over my finger and it made a mess. But I mean, it's fun. But I am using this mat. Who told crafters to have white desks? I don't know. I was attracted to it. My studio is white and gray for the most part as far as furniture. I got a little bit of yellow and black in there too, and some pink. But my white desk. So I'm using this little actually it's not a cutting board, but a plastic cutting sheet from like Family Dollar, and it's been holding me down. So you can see how all the gelatos are all over it, and paint and all of that. For some reason, I printed this kit. I think I ran out of sticker paper. That's what happened. So I printed some of it on sticker paper, white sticker paper, repositionable. Thank goodness. You really need to check out repositionable white sticker paper. I have it linked down below. It has saved me on many accounts because I am indecisive sometimes when I'm laying down my stickers. But for that reason, I printed some on white sticker paper. So that's why on white regular paper. And that's why you see the glue stick. I was not feeling the glue stick situation. I will try my best to always print on white sticker paper because it was just, look at it. It's messy. I prefer not. But I'm layering my sketch flowers and my actual red flowers. And so I really like the look of that. These are peonies. I think that's what you call these flowers, but they are the flower of freedom. They were actually the same type of flower in the last kit from last year. These are, of course, different illustrations, but the last kit had peonies also. And I like that they're a freedom flower. So I decided to include them this year as well. I think they're kind of neat. They're kind of cute too. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to, layer them. And the colors for Juneteenth are red, yellow, gray. Red, yellow, gray. Yeah, red, yellow, green, and black. So that's why you saw me using the red, yellow, and green gelatos. I know there's a black gelato. I haven't received it in any. I have like 3 gelato kits, and none of them came with the black. I got some gray and some metallic and all of that. No black. So yeah. I'm just, going to use what I have. That's what you should do. You don't have to buy all the things. So I got the idea to use my gelatos from my patrons. I loved having them there to just tell me like, oh, does this look good? Does this look right? I'm all into making sure I have space to write, my notes, my prayers. And we talked about what each of us are going to write on this spread, because I already did 2 entries in my Bible from last year's kit, and then I used last year's kit in my prayer journal. So I wanted to use this year's kit, in my other journal, which is my faith planner. There's a section called topic study. So I'm going to study Juneteenth. So I'm basically going to be recording what I've learned about it in this spot as it relates to the scriptures that are in the kit. So you see the First Peter sticker at the top. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this spread. And then the next spread you'll see is in my not journaling Bible. It's in my Bible study section of my faith planner. And I haven't been active in that part of my journal because I've been kept using it to catch up while doing Cookies in Christ, which is the live Bible study that I have here on YouTube. It's live for my patrons, but then like a month later, I do post it on YouTube for all to see. So if you're not able to join us live, please watch the recaps. But that is what's going on with the kit as I'm doing it. And I learned something yesterday, you guys, because we did this yesterday, the day before Juneteenth, which was that Friday. I learned that Juneteenth is now a federal holiday in the United States. So President Joe Biden signed the bill yesterday, making Juneteenth the 11th American federal holiday. And it's the first to actually obtain observance as a federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So big, 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 huge deal. So some people actually received a day off yesterday. I think federal employees definitely did, but I think other companies have recognized it as well. And I think, that is awesome. Like, I can't, have anything wrong to say with that. Like a day off, a day where you can remember what was going on, what the day is about, and to spend time with your family. As I look outside today, it's actually a little gloomy. It was beautiful yesterday. So I guess folks will be inside over here in the DMV. My plans actually are to go spend time with my family. My parents live like an hour away, and I haven't seen them since they went home. We call home New Orleans because my family's from New Orleans. So they went there, and y'all, they brought me some crawfish. I love crawfish. Like, that is the best food in the world. So that is what we are doing today. So we're going to go and visit my parents. And we talked about in the patron Zoom yesterday about family traditions centered around Juneteenth. So I always want my kids to really know what a holiday is about. I don't want them to look at it like, oh, we ain't go to school today. Well, actually, school is out in around this time anyway. So they don't have any school. They wouldn't have any camp or anything like that. And if you didn't know, I'm a first-year teacher. So this is my first summer since 2006, 15 years since I graduated from college. So this is my first summer break, and I'm spending it with my kiddos. And I'm excited about it. So we actually do have some work to do. Like, they're kind of in school. I couldn't stop them from learning. I was like, we're going to have a little bit of school. It's only like 2 hours a day. They can do it. But it's just to know you need to keep their minds going. And so I have this learning session with them. And so I wanted them to learn. Well, I want them to learn about Juneteenth. So you saw me just now trying to decide between the yellow and the green notes. My patrons helped me decide, picked green. And I love that because when I do the regular YouTube, I be like, what am I going to do? Why can't y'all talk to me? So they helped me decide on that. But for my kids, I want them to learn about the holiday. each of the holidays. So they know what Christmas is about. They know what Easter is about. They know what Martin Luther King Day is about. So they know all of these things. And I think that, it's very important to really celebrate what that day is about. It's not just the day off. So Juneteenth is not just a day off for, at least not me and mine. So we plan on doing a Bible study. I'm going to go through 1 Peter 2:16. I'm going to go through Galatians 5:1. And I'm going to talk about how what freedom really means and what it was in this country, what was lacking, and how things have changed, and as it relates to slavery and freedom of speech and the freedoms that women have and all of that. I'm going to wrap all of that into this, but make sure that I have a keen focus on the freedom of all people in America. Make sure that they know that that's what this is about. But the celebration, one, again, I'm going to have my crawfish, but that's not going to be like a tradition because I'm in Maryland. Crawfish are not here. I mean, well, they have them here, but it's a difference between hot and juicy crawfish and crawfish from New Orleans. So one is butter based and the other one is in a boil. So I prefer my crawfish from home. And so we can't do that. But being in Maryland, we can do a tradition of having some crabs. And my kids love crabs and shrimp and all the other stuff. So a lot of family traditions in my family are centered around the meal and what you share. So like Thanksgiving, we go around the table and we talk and we say what we're thankful for. The same thing would be for Juneteenth. So we're going to sit around a table. I'm going to make rosemary lemonade. I got to go to the store and pick it up. Somebody asked me on Instagram because I mentioned rosemary lemonade. It is so good, y'all. Like rosemary lemonade is great. So make sure you get the recipe for it. It's on you can just look it up. It's a recipe on YouTube here. So after this video, go search rosemary lemonade. It's super easy to make. I do want to point out right now that I am in my Bible study section of my faith planner, and this is in a classic vertical layout, and I'm using these planner boxes here. I love this layout. What happened to that flower? You see the flower above Thursday? I don't think I even put that flower in there. So I don't even know where it is. It is lost. Oh, man. And I printed that on my good clear sticker paper, too. I don't know where that flower is, but hopefully I find it. It's a sketch flower, so I can use it in pretty much any kit. I mean, any other spread. It's just going to go perfectly fine. But I love this quote here. It says, live as people who are free. And I'm sitting here going through all of the dolls because I included so many different variations of them so that you can decide. It doesn't mean that you have to use everything from the kit. I'll be trying that, but you can just, make decisions. Last year, the doll had Juneteenth on their shirt. And this year they have 1865. Now, I did speak to my patrons, and I'm not one to continuously do holidays over and over. And I believe that, especially if it's something that is a reoccurrence, that you can use printables again. Like, that is one of the perks and beauties of printables. And I want to make sure that people understand that and do that. So I'm not saying that this is my last Juneteenth kit, but I know that like I've stopped doing like Thanksgiving kits, or I don't do one every year. So that might happen. It's not that I don't care about the holiday. It's not that I don't want to celebrate. It's just that, I put a lot into the kits so that you can use them various times in different ways. I can use this. I used this kit twice on a faith planner page, a happy planner page, and you can see how they're totally different. So it's the same kit. So I want people to be able to do that. And it's versatile and you can mix them together and stuff. So I may have a kit next year. That is a long time from now for me to determine whether or not. But I just want to make sure that people, you don't feel any kind of way if, you happen to not see a Christmas kit every year or a Juneteenth kit or 4th of July kit or, a certain kit that you were looking for. Right here is when I forget that I had red on my finger. And so I made the page kind of red. And I'm going to try to make up for the little mishap later on by adding gelatos because My finger turned red. I don't even know how it turned red, but my finger turned red. Obviously, I was touching gelatos, and that's what happened. So I was like, let's make this page red. Not the whole page, but definitely something happened. And I want you to be okay with that. It is okay to, like change and go in a different direction when you have a mistake. So here I'm trying to, just put some more gelatos on there. And I happen to always forget to put something underneath so that I don't get gelato on every page that came under it or before it. So yeah, I made that mistake too, but it's okay. I'm just filling my gelatos. But yeah, so I'm pound cake. So this is what we're going to eat. So we have the rosemary lemonade, we got the crawfish, you got a pound cake. We're going to watch movies that are like rooted in African American culture. I saw that some stations have them, Disney, Netflix, Amazon Prime, they have sections like highlighting good flicks about African American lifestyle and heritage and history. They do the same thing for other cultures as well. They definitely took advantage of May, which is Asian and Pacific Islander month, and we watched movies and documentaries about their heritage as well. And I think that it's awesome that it's not just us. It's not just African Americans that are being highlighted. It's a lot of other cultures as well. And I think it's time that we all accept and learn more about each other. No school is not going to teach you everything. We have the internet now, but we've been had it. But now a lot of information is available to us. So please research and learn more about others. This Juneteenth, if you do nothing else, it's not really about the food or anything like that. It is about the fellowship and the celebration of freedom. So if you have the opportunity to look it up and learn more about what this holiday means to someone else, even if you're not celebrating it or don't have, a background or connection to it, like you might not be American, but if you are American, it is a part of you. It doesn't matter if you're Latin, Asian, African American, Jamaican American. Just if you're American, this holiday is for you. So, and that is why I have different cultures and races of dolls included in this kit as well, because it's an American holiday. It's not just a Black people's holiday. It's not just the African American holiday. Everybody should celebrate Juneteenth. It's the day that everybody was considered free. It just so happens that we take it and we body it in a different way, but everybody should celebrate it, especially if you're an American. But these are my spreads. Those are my spreads, and that's how everything was going. And so I'm really thankful for y'all to watch this video and hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions or want to learn something or know something. But enjoy your holiday. Today is a holiday. Please enjoy it. These are all the dolls I had left. I really plan on using them. So you do the same. Enjoy your day. God bless. Bye.